This one is dope. It's a 170 scrap with Francisco Trinaldo, aka Masaranduba, taking on the body snatcher Dwight Grant. And Vegas is seeing this as nearly a pick'em. We see Masaranduba as a slight minus 120 favorite. The body snatcher coming in as plus 100. And the last time we saw body snatcher, he did pick up a nice win over Stefan Sekulic. Before that, he did lose to Daniel Rodriguez. He was absolutely flatlined in that one. But he picked up some wins before that, Alan Joe Ban being one of them. I remember that fight being pretty close, so it was tough to attach too much stock to it. But the TKO win he had over Carlo Pedersoli before that was a great version of the body snatcher. But he's going up against a true veteran in Francisco Trinaldo, and Francisco Trinaldo, we can't forget, was on that nice three-fight win streak, and the one loss before that was a very controversial hometown split decision win for Alexander Hernandez, and it could be argued that had he won that fight, he'd be on a super solid five-fight win streak, which at 43, excuse me, years old, pretty impressive stuff from Trinaldo. And we kind of look at at Dwight Grant as someone who, it doesn't seem like he's been in the UFC for too long. It's only been, 3, 4 years, but he is 37 years old. Like this isn't a young whippersnapper, so to say. So, what are your thoughts on this true pick'em? Do you think that the body snatcher is really gonna like turn a next corner and get a solid levels test veteran win on his resume, or does Trinaldo show that he's still around and maybe he's the one that's snatching bodies? What do you think?
Yeah, I see, Tapology, and it seems that the odds makers are even, pushing that Trinaldo is the slight favorite and the community is more bullish on him. But I don't know, 43, 5'9", 70-inch reach versus the 37, 6'1", and 76-inch reach. Guy's clear advantage against Trinaldo on the length, aspect of the fight and the age. But like you said, Trinaldo, he's been with the best of the best, and he's been in the game for a long time. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with Grant. I think he's the bigger guy. I mean, Trinaldo, he's fought at 155, and done good there. 170, this is a big guy. I don't know if it's gonna go in his favor, but it wouldn't surprise me because he is a vet. He's got so much experience, and like the last card, blowing my mind. All these grizzled vets, they are showing that 40 is the new 20, and they are smashing still. So maybe I'm wrong on this, but I'm gonna go with the younger guy and the longer reach.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, this is the only the second fight at welterweight for Trinaldo. This is a guy who historically did pick up most of those wins at 155. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against Dwight Grant. You touched on, the height and the length. Immediately when you were mentioning that, like I thought about the Jai Herbert contest, aka the Black Country Banger, where Trinaldo just kind of just ultimately shut his brain off, Shane Burgos style, and I don't know. He didn't have too many issues with the length of Jai Herbert in that one, and I like to think that maybe Grant and Herbert's stand-up game is kind of similar. So I'm also curious, how do you see this one playing out in like the clinch department and or the ground? Because we know Trinaldo has a litany of submissions. He's got that dad strength. You touched on the 43-year-old killers in the UFC right now. Do you think he's going to try and maybe take this one to the mat? And if so, how do you see Grant faring down there? Because he is a legit purple belt, but we know Trinaldo brings that black belt heat. So how do you see that playing out, if at all?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the move for him is take it to the ground, get the ground and pound, use your veteran skills, and do a slow smother sizzle, and get that win. If it stays on the feet, I worry for him because Grant has a clear advantage. So Grant is a foolish to take it to the ground unless he just knows his ability is better. But that's only Grant and his team will know that. But I think the smart game plan is to keep it on the feet, go for that KO, and read the takedown with a flying knee.
Yeah, that would be something for sure. If ultimately he snatches the body from Trinaldo, it would probably be in some sort of devastating fashion. 63% I'm noticing is rolling with Maso Randuba. Majority of it is beige. They think that the decision is actually most likely. 37% is rolling with the body snatcher, and about 22% of it is brown. They think that the body snatcher does get the KO TKO in this one. Ultimately, I'm gonna roll with the savvy vet, Francisco Trinaldo. I think he just finds a way to mix this one up. If it does stay on the feet, I don't know. I don't know if I'm as bullish on it being as one-sided as some might think in Grant's favor. Sometimes I'm impressed with what Trinaldo can do on the feet. But I'm with you in that I think the best pathway might be to try and get this thing to the mat. Utilize that old man strength and just find a way to mix it up and get this one done over the body snatcher. So I think Trinaldo by decision is how I see this one unfolding. So any last thoughts on this welterweight scrap? I'm pretty stoked for this one.
Yeah, super pumped for this one. This one's a fun fight. It could be a slobber knocker. It could be a snooze fest. I don't know, but I'm very excited to see how it goes. But yeah, boys, make sure to smash that meat and subscribe and check out other videos. And don't forget the meat lock.